Yo, what's up guys? So today I thought I'd take a break from all the cardistry I've been doing recently and do a magic tutorial. So today we'll be learning the Erdnase change, which is just a really visual color change where you can just pretty cleanly take one card on top and switch it out for the second card on top. Looks really clean, it's pretty undetectable with the right nuances, so let's get right into the tutorial. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is find two cards that kind of contrast. The main reason for this is obviously if you change the 7 of clubs into the 6 of clubs, you know, it might go unnoticed. So find two cards that contrast nicely. It's also just nice to practice with two cards that'll really show you what's going on. So first you wanna do whatever double lift you're comfortable with. For me, it's the pinky count, so I count down 2, then I push over and do that. So even if you're doing, say like this type of double lift, and you know, you get your break and then you, whoop, nope, something like that. Yeah, so just do whatever double lift you're comfortable with, and then you should end up in this position where, you know, you got the top two cards flipped over. All right, so square it up, make sure you're not flashing, right? And you want to take your hand and you want to push up on just the top card. Now, when I do this, I like to bring my index finger over here so the audience can see the pip, mainly because if you do this, you don't see the card, and sometimes it's a little more sus, like it seems like you're doing something if you just, you know, cover the deck and do that. Whereas if you do this, you give the audience something to concentrate on, just the pip in the corner. So you want to push up the top card about that much. And the purpose of this is after you push it up, you'll pull down with this part of your hand. Yeah, lighting's good. You'll pull down with this part of your hand, the bottom card, right? So now that the bottom card's out, then you'll push the top card back in. You'll swing this hand around, flashing a bit, like this. Then you'll square these two cards back up, and then you'll do the paintbrush. So effectively what's happening is you're pushing this card up, you're pulling this card out from under, you're moving it around, putting it on, then paintbrushing. Again, so push forward. Good tip is I keep my index finger here, so when the card goes forward, I make sure only that goes over, because if it's not there, it gets a little hard to manage how many cards go over. So keep your index finger there, place your hand here, push forward just a bit till you can feel it on your palm, then pull that card that's underneath back and kind of close your fingers a bit. Now right when you feel it clear, there might be a little click, a little something, you can feel it. Bring your index finger out, push this card in, square it up. Now bring your hand around to this side and then square it up. Now a little tip I have is, so after you've done this, got one card and you've pulled the bottom one back, when you go around like this, it might seem natural just to do this, right? But I recommend angling your hand just so that this part of the card is pressing against the corner of the deck here. So bring it up, bring it back, then you do this, right? So now that's pressing on the corner, your hand can kind of float above the deck a bit, right? And it really makes it look like you don't have a card in your hand, right? So you do that, then you place it down here, square it up, and then again, I like to paintbrush like that to make it look like you're painting the card on. So when you do the whole thing together, you see the 7 of clubs and then it changes like that. Okay, so from this angle, again, you take your double lift, right? You flip it over just like that. And then you do this and you push forward. Hopefully I can get it back for you. Excuse me. So you push just one card forward, right? And then on your palm here, camera angles, you pull the bottom card back, right? And you square that up. Then you bring the bottom card around like so. Bring it around like that. Then you place it flat and you cover the top card, and you paintbrush. Then after this, you can, well, if the audience wants to inspect the card, you can do a KM move, which is kind of like that. Or you can, what I tend to do is after this, I just show it to them, and while everybody's still, you know, talking about whatever, I just go ahead and clean up the double lift. A few more things you just might want to pay attention to is, first off, when you're here and you're pushing forward, make sure, well, try to minimize this gap here, like how much you need. Because at first the gap might be a bit bigger, so it might be like that big. But if you can get it a bit smaller, the motion of the top card, the smaller it is, the better. Because that will look better. Well, not from your angle, but that will look better than doing this, right? And plus, when you do that, it flashes on the back. Also, make sure you're just handling one card, because if you do this and either more than one card comes back when you do that, like these also, if these cards follow, it'll get really messy and you'll be working with more than just 2 cards. And also, if when you push forward, the bottom card also comes, what'll happen is you'll actually pull back the 3rd or the 4th card when you do this. And believe me, it's an issue I've had to deal with before. So just watch out for that. Practice in front of a mirror or camera, whatever you got. But besides that, the good thing about the Erdnase change is it doesn't have to be like super flawless, you know, instant visual color change, because your hand's covering it and doing most of the work. Whereas, say like the Cardini change, where, you know, you take a card, when you do
nice
that, you know, it takes a lot of, you know, precision, angling, all that. Whereas if you're practically palming a card, the angles are a lot better, unless of course you're from like this angle or this angle. So yeah, that's pretty much what I know about the Erdnase change, how I like to perform it, just some nuances I've either gained from tutorials watching others or just, you know, experience performing for live audiences. So I hope this was helpful, and let's just go to the outro. Alright, so that's the Erdnase change. Have fun with it, practice it a bit. It works great on camera, it works great in person with live audiences. It's really diverse range of options. You can incorporate it into your ambitious card routine. You can do a lot with it. So it's a great utility color change that's great to do. Let me know in the comments below if there are any particular moves that you guys want to learn. Subscribe if you like content like this. Be sure to check out some other tutorials I've done. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see more B-roll, magic, slides, photos, etc. Fun stuff. And other than that, it's not much else to be said, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.